Hi, this is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and today we are talking all things Mercury in retrograde in 2023. That's right. Oh my gosh, we have our first full Mercury in retrograde in 2023. And I know a lot of you are like, no, it's not that bad. This year we only have 3. Last year we had 3. Every year we have a different number. Usually it's 3 to 4. And this one is a 3-year compared to last year being a 4-year. And it's all okay. We'll deal with it. It's not that big a deal. So let me give you some hard, fast dates. And then I'm going to talk about like how this one is going to be affecting you. Here we go. So Mercury goes into pre-shadow energy on April 7th. It will station and turn full retrograde on April 21st. It will go direct energy, going into post-shadow energy on May 14th, and then leave post-shadow energy on May 31st. And this one is going to be in the sign of Taurus. So let's just talk about Mercury. Mercury is our planet of communication. And because of that, when it goes into retrograde, it can affect all communication. Emails, text messages, phone calls, all that kind of stuff. So it's really important to kind of keep track of who you're talking to, how they're going to take this. And it's not necessarily what you said, it's how are they going to take it. Not necessarily how you, I said it this way, I was trying to be funny and you took it all wrong. So think about like how they're going to receive it on the other side. It's kind of one of those important ones. Travel plans, things that are kind of getting ready to happen, all that kind of stuff, like getting those on the books. I have a couple of videos out. I will link them below so you can really kind of connect with that energy. It's going to be really important to kind of understand like what you can do in a Mercury in retrograde, what you should do before to kind of get prepared, and afterwards. It's all important. So let's talk about the sign of Taurus. Taurus is all about all things material and natural. Think about that bull out in the field, kind of like the Ferdinand, like I love the flower. So it's all about kind of like the value of things around us. This one is kind of really kind of going to be bringing up a lot of issues that you thought were buried. It's going to be affected a little bit more by Pluto than we really had hoped. And it's going to be kind of bringing up old stuff. Pluto's about the old things coming back up, kind of like those skeletons in the closet, they're going to be coming back out. But this one, because Taurus is in this energy, it's going to be bringing up some old things. It could bring up some past life information. It could bring up some other things, some other old issues or triggers that you thought like, wow, I've gotten rid of all of this. It's just important to understand that. Taurus is also our sign of finance. So in some way, this is going to mess with our finances as well. That doesn't mean like, oh my gosh, go into a hole. It just means understand if you're transferring money, make sure you're doing it into the correct account. Make sure that you understand how much you have in your account. Don't overspend. Those are kind of things. It also is going to really question us in the things that we value. Taurus is all about things we value. So people that have been kind of like valuing the wrong things. Maybe they're valuing like, I've got this huge truck, or I've got this really expensive purse, or I've got this really great blah, blah, blah. It's one of those, that's going to be kind of like something could happen to that, or like the truck could be in an accident. So now it's not valued the same way before. That purse could get stolen or whatever else. And it's kind of like turning it to what's really important, because what's really important is our relationships with other people. Our family, our relationship, our friends, all of that are more important than all of the other things. So if we've been valuing the wrong things, we're going to be turned back to valuing the correct things now. There's also going to be some power struggles. This could come in with work. I was talking to a client today, the day that I'm filming this, that their boss is going to be leaving because of this Mercury in retrograde. They love to think that they're in power, and there's some power changing coming in. So that could be like some changes coming in of around you, people quitting or leaving for whatever reason. And so the power structures around you could be, or will be changing some in some areas. This is all about the relationships kind of like rethinking our relationships with other people. Like I thought they were on my side, but I realized they're not, or I've been valuing this relationship and they're not valuing it the same way. So I need to change this relationship. It is a really great thing to kind of really start thinking about reviewing your budget, your money. Where is your money going? So kind of keeping track of that, not necessarily making the changes during this Mercury in retrograde and the sign of Taurus, but kind of like checking things out. Where do I need to make some changes and getting those changes ready to go in? So when Mercury's out of retrograde, you're ready to make those changes. There is some really good news because this transit is going to be kind of potentially a great aspect to Saturn in the sign of Pisces, and this could be like blending some of those energies, those important things, kind of bringing up like how do we mentally think about things, our faculties, like changing how we think about money, what we value, and our power sources, bringing in some changes in there. The energies could also kind of bring in like where do we really require focusing our intention on? What is that we need to focus differently on? How is this going to change? And with Saturn kind of making a little bit of some energy in here, Saturn is all about the plane of commitments and routines and hard work. So there may be some changes in there as well. All of this is going to happen more smoothly once Mercury kind of shifts direct. It's going to be making some different changes there. But by the point is kind of really trust your judgment, trust where you're spending your money. I know a lot of people that spend their money in some really crazy ways. And so this could be some ways of kind of like, hey, we've got to change how this is changing us, or we've got to be in control of the money and power, and not allowing our money to drive us. Kind of one of the fun things to really understand about this Mercury in retrograde is how it is going to affect our plans and our projects. This is going to affect our plans and our projects way more than others, because all of that is all about budgeting and projects and money and the power to send someone out to go do a job or go do something else. So this is going to be bringing in some changes. I will say that kind of one of the phases is kind of like taking time to kind of like rethink some new projects. Where do you need to go or change or modify in your business or in your work? Where are these changes coming in, and what do we have to do to kind of bring this in? Some of the do's and don'ts really quickly before we close out and do our angel cards is kind of some of the do's is always have a backup plan. Back up your computer. Definitely do that. I do that a few weeks in advance. Be flexible with your time. Double check times and dates and that sort of thing. Be attentive to what's going on around you. Plus any changes. Like if something changes, make sure you're making the correct changes on your calendar. Use retrograde periods as time of reflection. That is great time. Review, rethink, reissue, all of those things, kind of like what's coming up in there. These are the things that we don't want to do. Don't be negative, because if you push negative energy at Mercury in retrograde, all it's going to do is push more negative energy at you. So don't do that. One of the things is don't hold things in. A lot of times people get really, I don't want to talk to my boss about this. This is a great time to kind of like let things out, but like in a calm communication way. And you can say like, hey, I may say this incorrectly, but I feel like I need to get this said. And so say it so you're not bottling up. Otherwise it's going to explode at some point. Avoid signing contracts if you can at all. There are a lot of things that a lot of people are like, if you sign a contract under Mercury in retrograde, it will fall apart. It won't do what it's supposed to do, or it won't fund the correct way, especially with this one in Taurus. Jump into things, think about things before you jump into things. Really reconsider, really think about things. Try not to start anything new in Mercury in retrograde. It makes it easier. And really have some realistic things that you want to accomplish. A lot of times I will rethink things, I will redo things, remodify things, and I guarantee you backing up your computer, your phone, your laptop, whatever that is, make sure you're doing that. Let's do some angel cards. I will also below put in some links to some videos that I've done in the past of like how to prepare for Mercury going into retrograde, what to do during Mercury in retrograde, and then what to do when Mercury gets out of retrograde. This one's popping. Here we go. Our first one, our intentions. Set your intentions correctly. There is some great ways to set this energy the right way, kind of setting that intention, spending this time as review is going to really help. Kind of setting that intention the right way, the right time is really going to help. And making sure that you are clearly communicating with yourself and others. Soulmates, the people around us are our soulmates, our kids, our spouse, our boyfriend or girlfriend, our families, all that kind of stuff. Make sure that you're having clear communication with them. If something isn't clear, if you're not understanding, make sure that you're making that correction, that fix right away. Don't let it linger. It only gets worse. Blessings. So many people think of Mercury in retrograde as like a curse. Really not. It is such a blessing to have this time to rethink, remodify, rechange, readjust. It is going to come in and be really strong and really a great time to make some adjustments in your life. That's why it's there. New love. Really new loves come in Mercury in retrograde, especially this one. You're going to find things, new things that you've already had in your life that you're going to fall back in love with. So that's kind of like, yes, fall back in love. That is going to be a really great one. So make sure that you're taking the time to appreciate the people around you and make sure that you're ready for Mercury coming into retrograde. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.